This is an interesting inflection point for the industry. You have a number of companies who provide software solutions to solve enterprise-class problems, and they've used traditional technologies such as relational databases that are very appropriate for those problems. We're now on the cusp of evolving into what I would call more internet scale. When you look at companies like Twitter and Facebook, they've had to adopt newer, different technologies to be able to handle the extreme volume that's required in the area of, for example, social media. Pharmaceutical is going to go through a similar evolution. The volumes are going to increase by multiple orders of magnitude as companies move to serialization, and solutions that are based upon traditional application architectures that were architected around problems involving many, many fewer transactions are going to have a hard time scaling. A relational database tends to perform slower as the volume of data stored in that database starts growing to extreme size. The relational database has to keep up with transaction load, and if the transactions are coming in faster than the serialization solution can handle, you're going to jeopardize your business processes. You may not be able to ship product because you haven't generated the appropriate documentation, your repository hasn't been set up, you haven't been able to generate the appropriate downstream feeds that you have to send to your partners. I think those customers are going to be very challenged to have their solution work for them. Contrast that to a NoSQL database. NoSQL databases have the advantage of being able to scale to solve larger problems. A NoSQL database tends to remain constant. So regardless of whether you have a relatively empty data store or data store with hundreds of millions or billions of records, you're going to get near constant performance speed. We've designed our schema to use a NoSQL database so we can get very, very high throughput against very, very large production volumes for our operational, transactional processing.
Why would anyone use a relational database for serial number storage and processing? I think the answer is quite simple. It's what they already have. If all you have is a relational database and a web-based application to solve the problems that are placed in front of you, it's just like all you have in your toolbox is a hammer and the entire world looks like a nail.